podcast. Today we're going to talk about racing as a sport and what racing is to some people and how millions of dollars are invested in this edge of the seat action sport where no one really has the upper hand when they are on the beast of a vehicle, either with their hands on the handlebar or the steering wheel. Today, I have with me my friend, roommate, and classmate, Dattasai Vemuganti, shortly as DA2 or Dattu, who is also pursuing his mechanical engineering design MS here in Rome. My friend Dattu is part of the Sapienza Gladiators racing team, and they are going to participate in the Student Grand Prix in Spain in March 2021. So yeah, let's welcome our guest. Hi Dattu, how are you doing?
Yeah, Rajiv, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a rough year, I guess.
Yeah, very rough. But yeah, nonetheless, we have to move on with life like always.
Yeah. So what's up?
So yeah, today I invite you to my podcast because I wanted to know about racing as a sport and how the whole system works. What are the things, the qualities that the racer should have, or what countries follow racing as passionately as the whole industry? How does it go? So yeah, let me come to my first question. So what is racing as a sport according to you, and how does a typical race format be? So yeah.
A typical race form would be like it's seasonal. I mean, it happens all over the year. It's not like 1 month it had the race happened and then the next you see the race in the next. It's not like that. It's just a league, just like a football league matches or a cricket league matches. It happens all around the year, and racing as a sport is very celebrated in world. Like I think it's more than football to a lot of people.
Oh,
It's not just a small sport, and it's a lot of businesses involved and a lot of money involved in it,
yeah,
and there are skillful players in the business itself. It's very corporate level. It's not
exactly.
like water under the bridge. It's over the bridge always.
Okay.
Yeah. For me personally, racing sport dates way back old school. I mean,
Okay.
it's not just something happened late in 21st century or something.
Okay.
It dates back when people used to ride with their horses. They
Mm,
used to race with their horses, and then industrial civilization happened. Machines came into the market. Then people started competing with their own machines. So this is how I see racing. It's not very novice or naive to us.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is usually a Grand Prix and how does it work? Like, is it related to just bikes or Formula One, or what is it? What is a
So
Grand Prix actually?
yeah. Grand Prix is basically it's like the highest level of platform.
Okay.
I mean, let's compare with any other sport. You have regional stuff, you have national stuff, and you have global stuff.
Okay.
So in racing sport, Grand Prix are the global stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it's the epitome. I
Okay.
mean, there is no further than Grand Prix. So
Okay.
everyone who is a racer or a rider, or who is in motor, or who is in bike racing or the car racing, his final destination that he wants to be is a Grand Prix.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a higher level, man.
Okay. So it's like the ultimate
Yeah, it's
sport.
the ultimate for
Okay.
everyone: mechanics, engineers, racers, everyone.
Okay.
It's the highest level.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So what is the usual difference or the actual difference between like a racing car and a bike, like when compared to the normal ones? Like what does a car, racing car or a Formula One car look like?
Okay, it's like the answer is pretty obvious. The first difference would be the limits. The limits in terms of speed
Okay.
is the primary thing that racing car or a bike should satisfy,
Okay.
and that's pretty obvious. But there is a lot more to speed. It's the external output is speed, but there a lot happens inside the machine to get that kind of speed. There are a lot of factors that are limited.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, a man can create an ultimate machine, but
Okay.
he, at the same time, the man should also control the machine.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's all about the control, balance, and the speed.
Yeah.
three factors at a time on a row. So if you like break down all the racing elements or racing practices. So it's like when you come to the car, or let's say the highest level is Formula One.
Okay.
So it's Formula One. You cannot buy those cars in the market.
Yeah.
It's like those are the prototypes, and they are not sold at all.
So those are only for the racing
Exactly.
purpose.
Yes. And let's say an equivalent in bikes, we have MotoGP. So
Okay.
just like that, those are prototypes. Those are made by the companies specified to that kind of racing stuff. So
Okay.
we also have those companies working for, making other bikes, but these two are just for pure racing stuff.
Okay.
So if you take something like NASCAR, World Superbike Championships. So these are a level down, but with the same performance.
Okay.
With the NASCAR is different and Formula One is different, but
Okay.
you can see more similarities between Superbike and a MotoGP bike.
Okay.
The only thing difference is Superbikes are sold in the market. Like let's take Ducati.
Okay.
Ducati is both in MotoGP and in World SBK.
Okay.
But let's take Kawasaki. Kawasaki is not in MotoGP.
Okay.
It used to be in MotoGP, but it's not now.
Okay.
It is strictly confined to the SBK because they're good in
SBK is?
World Superbike. It's for WSBK.
Okay.
So we call it World SBK Championships.
Okay. It's again a race.
It's again a race.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what Formula One and MotoGP are different from the NASCAR or
Okay.
the SBK Championships.
Okay.
So SBK is basically you have a 1000cc bike,
Okay.
and you can buy that stuff in
Yeah.
the market.
Yeah. Okay.
So what
It's
does
available to everyone.
everyone exactly. So if you got money, you can go buy the bike.
Okay.
What the companies do is they make a bike.
Okay.
They make two bikes basically. One is for MotoGP
Okay.
and one is for SBK.
Okay.
So first they ride those SBKs in the SBK championships, and
Yeah.
then they bring it to the market. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the normal MotoGP bike won't be available to the
So,
market.
and we also have other racing platforms. These are pure track stuff.
Okay.
Okay, we all have rally racing, the off-road racing, enduro
Okay.
racing. Have you ever heard of Isle of the Man (TT)?
What is it? I don't know.
It's a TT. TT means it's a tourist trophy.
Okay.
So Isle of the Man is an island near England and Wales.
Okay.
So there are a lot of bikers.
Okay.
Basically, have you ever heard of Martin Guy? Martin Guy is a retired Isle of Man TT racer.
Please saw your book.
Yes, I am reading that book. He's a good racer. So
Okay.
he used to race for MotoGP.
Okay.
Then he retired from MotoGP. So he had his own bike, or he had some sponsors.
Okay.
So it's just an island.
Okay.
What they do is they just race around the island. It happens once in a year,
Okay.
and it's like the dangerous racing platform ever you will see in the world.
Okay.
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 There are other stuff too, like Pikes Peaks in Atlanta, USA, but
Okay.
this one is the most dangerous because the track is just beside the track. You have all the stones or seashore. So
Okay.
if you just blink an eye or something and miss that sight of that track, you'll be there in the water.
Okay.
So
So
there are
it's in the height?
Yeah, it's in the height.
Okay.
The Isle of the Man TT is highest level.
Oh, okay.
Of the
The
racing.
altitude is
Yeah,
high.
is really high.
So if you miss, you will fall into
You'll
the
fall
sea.
in water. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty dangerous. We
Okay.
have motocross GP also.
Okay.
Those are the bikes, let's say, uh, enduro bikes. So
Okay.
it's
So
just
that is
like
dirt.
yeah, exactly
Dirt
the
tracks.
dirt bikes.
Okay.
Dirt bikes. You call them motocross bikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So how much does a racer who's participating in a Formula One or MotoGP earn approximately? Like roughly what will be their earnings per year approx?
Okay. If we talk about the money, that's huge. That's pretty huge. You can't even count on what are they earning. Let's say Lewis Hamilton. He
Okay.
just won like 92 wins, man. He just
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
Michael
It's
Schumacher.
world record,
It's
right?
a world
Yeah.
record. He's breaking all the records. Niki Lauda, Senna. He's breaking everyone's record, and he's still racing. I think he'll still be racing for 3 more years,
Okay.
or more than that, if Mercedes is sponsoring him. So if you take a typical race winner, a championship winner, you millions of dollars are involved in that.
Okay.
So
So
typical
it's for
race
the racer or for the team?
racer gets the money,
Okay.
and the the team gets the money from the sponsors, and also
Okay.
F1 F1 or the whatever the council
FIA.
who's controlling the board, who's controlling all these races will provide the money. It's
Okay.
and Formula One has the highest money involved compared to any other racing platforms.
Okay. So MotoGP, motocross, NASCAR,
Yeah, there is.
Formula One is above all of
Yes,
this.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, uh, if you compare, yes, Formula has got lot more money because
Mhm.
it is held all over the world.
Okay.
If you see NASCAR, it is held only in America.
Okay. So
We do have NASCAR Euro Series, which is confined only to Europe,
okay.
but it's not as celebrated as F1
Yeah.
in Europe.
F1 has fans all over the world.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. 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 This is good. So like, what should a racer possess? Like, what are the qualities? Like, is it just like controlling the speed, maneuvering through the tracks, and different conditions all over? So, what does a racer do? What makes him stand apart from normal people who drive on the roads? What is the difference?
First and foremost, he should love speed.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously. Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean,
yeah.
he should be scared. At the same time, he should be able to overcome that fear.
Okay, yeah,
It's not just like you love speed, we can just go all around the track.
yeah.
And
It's not
his
madness.
mind controls the bike all the time. I mean,
Okay,
the reflexes should be hard enough.
okay.
And don't you think the people who drive F1 cars and bike, MotoGP bikes are not fit? They're perfectly fit, man.
Yeah,
They tune their body according to the bike they are riding.
yeah.
Let's say Mark Marquez.
Okay,
He's like out of the championship right now. But uh, I have seen in his interview, he just tunes the body. I mean, you have to control the handlebar with your elbows. So he makes those elbows very strong so that it will be stable to handle those in the hard, slowest corners or fast corners.
okay,
So he takes a lot of risk during the track than any other rider in the MotoGP. So
okay.
he's ready to fall,
Yeah.
but again he is able to regain those
He has
scars.
the confidence to get up.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's what. I mean,
okay.
you have to be scared at the same time. You have to be able to overcome that fear.
Right, right. Okay, so yeah, this is good information. I guess most of the people listening to it are, I think, first timers listening to racing about this long.
Yeah.
So yeah, who are your favorites on the track right now? Like, who are the current racers in different platforms that you think are like your favorites?
My all-time favorite in Formula One is Schumacher, obviously.
Uh, yeah,
And
I think is everyone's
yeah,
like
it's he's
lot of
everyone's favorite.
yeah.
But currently, I'm not fan of Lewis Hamilton, but he's pretty good. He's pretty good in his job.
Yeah.
And I I really love Carlos Sainz,
Okay.
Lando Norris,
Okay.
and Charles Leclerc. These are three young people. They're taking the sport to the next level. I
Okay.
mean, uh, F1 used to be very serious sport back in the day, but
Okay.
now it has been more fun due to these youngsters
Okay.
coming coming public in the internet and making people involved to their sport.
Okay.
Okay, so there was a silver lining back in the day between the F1 people and normal audience. So
Okay.
they're just breaking that bridge,
Yeah.
these
Okay.
people. And MotoGP, my all-time favorite is Valentino Rossi,
Valentino.
forever.
So
But
yeah, Italian.
we live in Italy, but still,
Yeah.
when we used to be in India, he's my favorite. And now I really love the style of Fabio Quartararo. He's a Frenchman,
Okay.
and he's in the currently in the race for championship. And
Okay.
Maverick Vinales, he's the teammate of Valentino Rossi.
Okay.
Uh, so these are my favorites.
These are the
And
upcoming
yeah,
guys.
and
Okay.
I really love Ken Block. If you have seen the Gymkhana files in the
Oh,
Prime,
Ken
yeah,
Block.
it's
Yeah.
Ken Block. He's a NASCAR ex-rider.
Yeah.
He
I
is
saw
really
his
good.
video
Yeah,
last week.
he's like ultimate autocross guy.
Okay.
He's ultimate rally car guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So yeah, let's come to the main question. So the main thing I wanted to know is what is the racing scene in India right now? Like, what do we have? Is racing even followed? Like, I think it's just a mere few people who are fanatics of the sport, and except them, I don't see much. What do you say? Hawa or
Yeah, yeah.
the the rush about the racing as a sport in India. So what do you think about
Yeah, racing in India is quite a paradox, man. Like
it? Okay.
people follow,
Okay.
people are participating in
Okay.
that sport. There are
Okay.
a lot of talented people, there are skillful ones. At the same time, they're not getting the recognition they're supposed to get.
Okay.
Okay, so the main problem is the sport is not hailed as we celebrate any other sport in India.
Obviously, that happens with
Yeah,
every other sport. There's
yeah,
no doubt.
we have a lot of talented
Okay.
riders. Let me name a few of them.
Yeah.
Naren Karthikeyan, everyone knows him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. He
so
used to be our
he,
childhood
yeah,
guy. Yeah.
F1 guy. So
Yeah.
we have Sharad Kumar from Chennai. He raced for MotoGP for a year. You know that
Okay.
he
Okay.
was he was a spare rider in the MotoGP 1010 Racing, which was Honda sponsored, but it was an Indian team.
Okay. There's
So
an Indian team as
Indian
well.
team MotoGP.
Back
So
then, or
in
it's still there?
2012, I guess.
Okay.
So Sharad Kumar was 20 years old then.
Okay.
He was young, he was talented, he was pretty good at his job.
Okay.
But what happened? People didn't sponsor him. The
Ah.
team got excluded from the MotoGP, and now he's a cab driver. It's very sad to see
Cab
such.
driver.
Yeah, it's
Oh
very
yeah.
sad to see such kind of drivers and such kind of rider, the talent getting wasted.
That's really sad
Yeah,
actually. I
like
didn't expect him to become a cab
of course,
driver.
of course. I mean,
But
if you see his interview,
okay.
it's very sad, bro. It's very saddening that kind of talent getting wasted. Okay,
Yeah,
we
obviously.
have Sandeep Nadimapalli right from Hyderabad. Okay,
Okay.
he's 22 years old and he
Okay.
has already won 6 national championships.
Okay.
Okay, he was ruled out of 2 races, but still made it to the championships.
Okay.
So we have talent, those kind of riders. We
Okay.
have Santosh, CS Santosh, who raced for Dakar Rally in 2016 and he won the race. So Dakar Rally is basically an endurance race.
Okay.
Dakar Rally is happens in a desert. Like you
Desert.
have
Okay.
to ride a motorcycle for 24 hours.
Oh,
And
it's like the Le Mans.
yeah, Le Mans is a track stop.
Okay.
And you
This
just go
is
all around the track and come back to the same place where you started. But this Dakar Rally is the place where you know where you started, but you don't know where you're gonna end up. People used to die in there
so.
because of the heat.
How do people decide like who wins the
I mean,
race?
who makes up to the last destination, he wins. That's it.
Okay,
You,
continuous 24
yeah.
hours.
I mean,
Right.
it might be even more than 24 hours because you have to ride in a desert track.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it's pretty intense. A lot of talented people do.
Okay.
The, we hailed PV Sindhu back in 2016.
Yeah.
Okay, she's like a dream girl in the badminton.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we can do the same thing for motorsport guys and motorsport girls. Okay, and we can hail the sport, and it's going to be in the map, in the world
Okay.
map.
Okay. So yeah, what do you think uh, is good thing that is happening in India with regard to racing, and what is India lacking behind it? Like, what should we improve to be known as a racing country or country with enough racers coming onto the map?
Okay, so our own companies, TVS, Hero,
Yeah.
these two companies are investing in motorsports.
Okay.
But I have a friend who's a motocross rider.
Okay.
He's I don't want to mention his name, but he's from Goa.
Okay.
He's 32 years old.
Okay.
And I asked him once, dude, I want to get into the racing. What do you suggest me? I said I had a job in Amazon or whatever it is. So he said, like, dude, don't come into the racing even if you have interest. So
Okay.
why is that? Dude, the money is less. You don't get the money.
Right.
You're just passionate about the racing, but you will not be developed. I mean, there is no develop. There is no further development. You win a race, and that's it. Your chapter is closed. Nobody will recognize you later.
Okay.
Okay. So it has to be processed to the people.
Okay. So
And
there's no opportunities after some
yeah,
some amount of winning or something.
I just said you, Sharad Kumar.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. That was
you
really
win a race,
sad.
and that's ended story.
Okay.
Okay. And we had India hosted 3 Formula 1 races: 2011, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Why not after that?
Yeah. Both the international
Yeah,
circuit.
BRC, it's the most loved circuit, international circuit by all drivers of Formula One. Even Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, these two world championships love the Indian circuit.
Okay.
It's the fastest circuit they ever been to.
So what happened to the circuit right now? Like, is it still working?
Oh,
Like in
it's working, but it's kind of politics happened there.
Okay.
Okay, so the government framed F1 as an entertainment thing.
Okay.
So when when entertainment comes to India, you have to pay more taxes. But the
Okay.
sport, the whatever the sports you're playing in India, you don't have to pay more tax.
Okay.
So when you're framing an international sport, when a worldwide, globally recognized sport as an entertainment, this is what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And we don't know when the Formula One is coming back to India.
okay.
So in 2015, Valentino Rossi and Dani Pedrosa, they came to India. So they
Okay.
were like, they want to race in India. They want MotoGP
So
to
they
happen in
had a
India.
race in
No, they
BIC.
didn't have race in India,
They were
but
invited normally.
they were just came to promote Yamaha R15,
Okay.
the model.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So yeah. So that's an again sad thing to know that
We
there
had
were Formula One races back then, and now we have a circuit, but
exactly
we don't encourage the sport
Sebastian
because
Vettel,
it
who
is termed as
exactly the
entertainment.
Vettel who was in Red Bull,
Yeah.
he won the championship in India.
Okay.
He loved Indian circuit.
Okay.
So we have such kind of urge to race here,
Yeah.
but why not the support?
Yeah. Maybe there should be a what do you say bigger help from the
The government,
governments,
yeah.
and I think there should be a racing association something in India.
There is FMSCI,
Okay.
Federation of Motorcycles and Cars in India.
Yeah, there is this thing, but maybe they should take the initiative
Exactly.
more often. Also, with good amount of riders, we can even start a movement, right? There, I think there will be many people who are enthusiastic about the sport.
I mean, I would say there are movements, there are enthusiasm,
Yeah.
there is happening, but that happening is not wide enough.
It's just a temporary
Yeah,
blink
yeah.
something.
If you go to Chennai,
Yeah.
you will see 3 tracks,
Okay.
and
Hard tracks.
there
Okay.
are track events all the time there.
Okay.
But those track events are very costly. So
Okay.
what we can do is
Sponsorship as
exactly
right? Yeah.
the government can subsidize those.
Okay.
Okay.
At least help increase the sponsorships.
Exactly.
Okay.
Eventually, you'll increase the jobs. You'll decrease in employment. And it's a chain.
Yeah.
If you're subsidizing one thing, it leads to a lot of good things.
Yeah. Yeah. I think good advertising needs
Yeah.
to be there. So, like, how do you think the people in India look at racing? Like, is it like, do people think, hey, what is this sport? It's risky, dangerous. Why should someone go and race? What is the purpose of the race? What is there in it?
There is no literally purpose for racing. It's just a sport. Why do you play all the games? Do you have any purpose or something? No. But we cannot generalize everyone. We cannot have a common opinion about
Exactly.
what everyone thinks. But as far as my clan, I mean,
Okay.
they don't see racing as a sport.
Okay.
Okay, and let's not say racing. Let's say motorsports. Okay, motorsports has not been something really open to everyone.
Okay.
Okay, we have to let people know that how not dangerous it is.
Okay.
You're riding in a highway at 80 kmph. That's pretty dangerous.
Okay.
But you're riding at 200 kmph on a racetrack. It's not that dangerous. And wearing all the gear, everything.
Yeah.
You have a proper guidance. You have a proper teaching. Everything. It's not that dangerous.
Okay.
So it's a sport.
Okay.
So the perception has to be changed. This is only to my clan. We have different opinions, everyone.
Yeah, obviously. Okay, so like I've seen the culture here in Europe with respect to racing or motorsports is pretty uh, popular, and there are a lot of people who are getting into the sport every year. Okay, so with every year there are number of riders coming from France, Italy, Spain, and all. It's increasing every year. So what can be done in India to make it a premium sport? Like, what can we do to make it a premium sport so that more people come up? The amount of population we have, I think it doesn't need much time for us to bring out a next world champion. I don't think it's a big deal if we encourage the riders in the like right way.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're pretty much right. So one good thing happened in 2020 for motorsports world is now India has a sports quota for motorsporting guys.
Okay.
Like you can claim all your achievements in motorsport
Okay.
in sports quota. You
Okay.
will be reserved for that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So this is something really,
Oh, okay.
good thing
So
happened
when did this happen? Like,
just few months back.
okay.
Not even few months back. I think last month.
Okay.
So everyone was really happy for that. So these kind of small steps.
So sports quota in the sense, what happens? Like
Like,
if you are racing and you're winning,
yeah,
you'll be given
you'll be some reservation. You'll have some reservation
with respect to jobs.
with respect to jobs, with respect to the admissions in the
Okay,
government
universities
universities or
and all.
whatever
Okay,
it is.
okay,
So
interesting.
that's something good
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
for
true.
the motorsports world. So
Yeah,
these kind of small steps can be
okay,
taken.
okay.
Okay.
And what else can be done, like on a like basic level? I know we're not experts, but what else can be done to make it a like watchable experience for the people?
We have to host races. We have
Okay,
to bring motorsports close to the people.
okay. So it's like IPL bringing foreign players here and
Exactly,
then
exactly.
cashing on that
Yeah,
and
we
developing.
are in India, and of course, even if you don't follow cricket, you still know
Yeah,
what's cricket and
exactly.
what exactly in the cricket and who are the most celebrated players in the cricket.
Yeah,
It's in our life. It's in hearts.
yeah.
Okay,
Cricket is
it's not
part of our
something.
life,
Yeah,
actually.
so we
Yeah,
cannot make motorsports part of our life,
yeah,
but it can be recognized.
yeah,
At least like football.
yeah. At
Okay,
least football. And
people watch ISL, man. People watch ISL. People go to ISL matches.
yeah, yeah, that is true. I think it's getting traction right
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
football as well, along with
We
badminton,
watch
kabaddi.
kabaddi leagues. We
Yeah,
watch badminton
kabaddi
leagues.
was good actually. Yeah. So
So
yeah,
they are intense. They are intense as a contact sport.
yeah,
But motorsports is pretty much intense. If you see one race, you'll be damned. Like what are these guys doing?
exactly. Yeah,
I mean, they
sure.
corner at 200 kmph, they exit at 250. That's pretty intense, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to just bring motorsports close to the people, and any team performing in Formula One cannot do this stuff. So
Okay.
it's the not even the government. It's the higher like the who's ruling the automobile industry
The
in India.
associations. Okay.
Those should come forward and
Okay.
make this baby
So
step.
what if Tata or Mahindra come up with their own vehicles and start racing?
That's actually a good thing because
Yeah.
Tata or
I think Mahindra is going to some
they
motorsport.
have a Formula E team. It's
Formula
electric
E. Okay.
racing. So
Okay.
Formula E is something pretty straight. So they can come to India and race. India can host that kind of race.
Okay.
It's pretty affordable.
So Mahindra has an actual team, or they are
Yeah, they have
partnering
a
with
team.
someone?
They have a team, but it is not based in India. It is based in UK.
Okay, Mahindra has a team, but it's from UK.
UK. I mean, it is based in UK. It is from India, basically.
The
I
company
mean,
is from India, but the racing
exactly.
department
Exactly.
is
Just like Sahara India,
okay.
the Vijay Mallya's team.
Okay.
The team was from India, but it is based in UK. All the manufacturing thing,
Okay.
all the assembly happens in UK.
So every engineer also works from the abroad
Yeah.
team, but it's
No,
not
no
okay.
engineer from.
Only Vijay Mallya is the Indian thing over there.
Exactly.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Mahindra team itself is Indian. The
Okay.
CEO of Formula E team Mahindra is an Indian, but most of the engineers working in that team are from or are not Indians.
Okay. It is from people who are living in that
Yeah.
region. Okay. So yeah, I think this has been a very good talk. I think we have done quite a lot of discussion about what racing is in general and how it runs in India. I think it's quite enlightening for me and for the people who are listening right now. I
Yes.
don't know
Hope so.
how
Hope
the
so.
audio
Well,
is or how it went. So
it's
yeah, I think it's a pretty good start. I think we should do more on racing. Maybe
yeah.
we can be the flag bearers who can promote racing in India. Maybe with this podcast or with videos, something like that. We can start doing something.
Yeah, we can input. We can give some input so that it hails all over the internet or
Yeah,
something.
at least we can start with talking about the sport at least so that people will know that
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
called racing.
So
I don't know, most people around me, like no one really spoke about racing as a sport.
we all know about Schumacher.
Yeah, we all know Schumacher because he was
In the
in the Hindu
newspaper,
paper he used to have big
when he won the
cutouts like that.
championship,
Yeah,
we had something big in the
yeah. In
sports
the
thing.
Sports Star
Yeah.
magazine as well, Schumacher had a big photo. So yeah,
Exactly.
that was my only racing experience back then. But yeah,
Three
It's good.
years back, Sunil Chetri made a video
Yeah,
to
asking
come
people
asking people to
to
come
come
to the
visit the
stadium
stadiums.
and
Yes,
love the
yes,
sport.
yes. That was very bad. Like for an Indian captain of a football
The
team
team.
to ask their audience to please come and visit the stadiums, it is such a sad state because we as a country we need to encourage
Who's going
all
to
the
promote
sports.
ourselves, man? Who's going to promote ourselves?
I think we should start from ourselves, but then it should pick up slowly. I don't know where it goes. Because sport,
And again,
like,
that video was temporary, and it was not. It broke the internet for a few days, and again,
yeah,
we
yeah,
never
I think
talked about
people,
the football again.
I think people went
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
People
people do visit.
did encourage that day, but
Yeah,
after that day,
yeah.
I'm talking after that day.
After that day, I think if you are hosting the games in cities that are like where the sport is popular. For example, if it is football, if you're going to Calcutta, if you're going to Kerala, if
Right,
you're
right.
going to Goa, if you're going to Chennai
Bangalore
or
also,
Bangalore,
yeah,
there you have the attention of people who watch football. So
exactly.
there you'll have larger audience than the normal Nagpur, Maharashtra,
Yeah,
Pune,
that's right.
whatever. Yeah,
The
like
sport has been brought closely to the people. It is
yes,
almost equal to cricket all over the India.
yeah, yeah, and that way it is good.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like more people watch, the more it gets close to the people, the more
that's right. That's
it'll
right.
like it'll vibe and get
Yeah,
bigger.
that's right.
So yeah, I hope motorsports, football, badminton, kabaddi, hockey should be
Yeah,
encouraged.
it's a
I think we
massive
can,
national sport
yeah,
of India.
I think we should like I think India should get better as a sporting nation because we can do
A
wonders.
population of this big can do
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
wonders, actually.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I think we should end this. Or do you have any questions to
yeah,
ask?
man. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, you something. I mean, I've seen you quite, quite a long time. I've been watching you, but you're a filmy geek. I mean, you talk about films, you talk about books,
Mm.
you talk about literature. But this is something new for you, and what made you to ask me some questions about the racing and stuff?
Ah, that's
When what, like
that's
something
a
should
nice question.
trigger you, right?
Yeah. Yes. It started last year, I guess. Not last year. Mm. I think in the start of this year, while I was sitting and there was an episode or a series called Netflix Drive to Survive,
Yeah,
Formula One Drive to
that's
Survive.
very, very good. So I recommend every listener to go watch that series.
It's on
It's
Netflix.
on Netflix. There are two seasons of those series. I'm not promoting this. They're not paying me money, but I just want you to watch that series because it's very really good. It's really good.
Yeah. So I was advised by two friends, one being you and the other being Teja. Maybe we should bring Teja
Yeah, yeah.
sometime
The
later.
next one.
Yeah, so you both recommended me to watch the series, and yeah, I was hooked onto it. I completed the 10 episode season in 2 days, I guess. And it was like exhilarating. I then knew what racing or Formula One racing was, how the amount of people who work behind the scenes help the driver to win the championship or the race. So it's a huge process for everyone involved, the managers, the engineers, the people who are the mechanics. So yeah, it's like that triggered my interest in the sport, and then I started watching YouTube videos, how the race goes, what are the I watched the highlights and all. So yeah, that triggered the interest, and so I wanted to start something new with my podcast, like getting to know from people about what they're good at. So like you are a racing or motorsport fanatic, so I wanted to try and talk to you about motorsports and get to know the basics at least. So if I get to know the basics, then maybe I can read or watch a little bit more and get more knowledge on this.
Absolutely,
I think
absolutely.
that is the start. Yeah, that's it. I guess that should answer your
Yeah, I
question.
also recommend you to watch the Hitting the Apex and Faster. These are just two documentaries based on MotoGP.
Okay,
It's really good. I recommend you to watch
okay,
this.
definitely, definitely. I think we should all watch. racing and all stuff. So yeah, I think let's end this. I guess we didn't expect
Right,
it to
right.
be
Yeah.
35 minutes.
It's good for our first one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's stop it right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Things About Racing with Dattasai Vemuganti. All words spoken by the speaker are their own views and are not endorsed by the host. Please provide your valuable feedback and stay tuned for more updates. Thank you.